Hello Betty AZ YouTube family, and welcome to today's video. On today's video, we are going to talk about some of the questions they can ask you at the airport. When you are traveling, you have gone through the whole process. You have gone to the embassy, you have gotten your visa, you have prepared for your flight, everything. You have done everything to this point that now you are at the airport. There are some set of questions they ask you. And I believe everybody has their own experience, and they don't ask them in any particular order, because, we have heard of stories where some people get a lot of questions and some people, they don't even get a single question. They get like, oh, welcome to the USA, Everybody has their own experience. But the officers, they have those questions they ask you. You go through like a short interview at the airport. What I can advise you is to be calm, be very confident, and don't be nervous. Because once these officers see you, you're so nervous, you're super, super, super nervous. They'll be like, why are you nervous? What are you up to? So one thing I can tell you is stick to the information you gave at the embassy. When you get to the airport, don't change the story. Whatever reasons of visit or whatever reasons you had given at the embassy why you are coming into the USA should be the same reasons if they ask you at the airport, should be the reasons you give them as well. So don't make up stories. Don't start making things very complicated, because the more you talk, when you start talking too much, or the more you dig, you bring more information, is the more they'll ask you questions and more questions. So I will give you my own experience, because everybody has their own experience, and I can only give you my own experience, the question they asked me at the airport. And guys, one thing I can tell you is I've been to different countries. I've traveled before, not just the US, but I've gone to different countries. I've been and I've gone through Heathrow as well. I've been to China airport and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm a super flyer, but I've been to I've been to different airports. So I have my own experience. Number one, as I said, is to be very confident. So you have come a long way, you have gone through a long flight and maybe changed flights, different flights. You're super tired. You are now here. You are in, you have arrived at Phoenix International, Phoenix Sky Harbor. Phoenix Sky Harbor is here in Arizona. You have arrived, and one thing, the number one thing you should know is go to your line, So the citizens will go to their line, and you make your line to the non-citizens, yeah? So once you go to the line, you wait for the people ahead of you to go, and when they call you, oh my goodness, when they call you, you'll go to the booth. So when you go to the booth, the first thing, from my own experience, everybody has their own experience. So this is not in no particular order. So when you go to the booth, the first thing they will say, can I see your passport? So what I always say is, and what I always do myself is to be, like say hello, say hello to the officer. Hello, good morning. And because when you start stories like, oh, I am so tired, blah, 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 it's they are not interested. They have a lot of people to interview. They have a lot of people to let in. So don't hold the line. So when you go there and say, hello, good morning, sir, or good morning, ma'am. So they'll say, can I see your passport? They're nice. They'll say hello to you. They'll say, can I see your passport? Just seeing their, sometimes they can freak out just to see when you see them in their uniform. Don't freak out. So when they ask you for the passport, you just hand the passport. And what I usually do is I always open the page where, like where my visa is. To make it easy for them, you don't have to, but instead of the officer going to, flipping the pages, you can just hand them the passport. You open the page with the visa and hand it to them. Make sure you have the passport with you, because if you put a passport underneath your carry-on, and when you get to the you get to the booth and you're starting to dig in your carry-on and looking for your passport, it's not good. It's very good to be very organized and ready. So they'll ask you for your passport to see the visa, because they want to make sure that you have the visa, the right visa. And then they'll ask you, how long is your stay, the duration, how long are you staying? Then you answer them according to how you answered at the embassy. You answer them. If you're a student, they'll ask you those questions as well. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're coming to do, like your visa, they will still ask you some questions. So they'll ask you how long is your stay, and they can ask you where are you staying. They'll ask you where you're going. They want to see, does this person know where they're going? So if you're coming here to Arizona, let's say, for example, as soon as you arrive at the airport, they will say, let's see your passport, and they'll say, what's the purpose of your visit? They can ask you that, and you can tell them, I'm here for this and this purpose. You give them the purpose, the same purpose you gave them. Don't change the story. And they'll ask you, how long is your stay? And this has happened to me before. One time, and I was traveling to UK, and this officer, because I was so nervous, and then my ears were clogged. Is it blocked or clogged? Because of the long flight, my ears were clogged. I couldn't even hear what he's saying, and also plus the accent, I was like, huh? So this person was like, can I see your passport? And I handed the passport, and they said, where are you going? And I was like, right away, I said where I was going. But because I was very nervous, he was like, can I see the your return ticket? And that was the first time I traveled. And I handed my return ticket. And this, from my own experience, guys, the return ticket did not match the dates I told this person. Yeah? And this was a mistake, by the way. And this officer was like, oh, that caught his attention. He was like, the dates here on the return ticket, the return ticket is like way after the time you're telling me. I think I said I'll be there for I can't remember. It's been many years. So I said I'll be there for 2 weeks. But the return ticket was 3 months, was in 3 months. So right away, because I'm smart, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, officer. That is a mistake. Do they have offices here, the airline? Do you know if they have offices here? This is a mistake. It shouldn't have happened. I need it changed right away. And the officer was like, he looked at me, and he could see the confidence in me. Of course, I was nervous, but I was like, you're not deporting me. And this was Heathrow. So this person was like, okay, I don't know if they have offices here. When you exit, you can find out, and I hope you get it fixed. And I said, officer, honestly, this is a mistake, blah, 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 blah. He was very nice. And also, I couldn't hear a lot, and I was like, sorry, pardon. And I crossed let me tell you guys, I tried to even cross that little gate over there to go and listen, try to hear what he's talking about. I was like, what? Sorry, what are you saying? And he was so annoyed. He was like, just go. He stamped, and he was, go find out. He really got pissed off because I kept asking him, pardon, what? What are you saying? I can't hear. Me and my accent, and that, I think that was my very, very first time to fly to UK. So anyway, this officer let me go. But he didn't even ask me a lot of questions, because it was so like, oh gosh, you're so annoying, just go. Then I had a friend of mine going to the same UK. And this officer, they asked them to show them proof of the money, because they were supposed to be touring the country. They had to show proof of the money. So they showed their cards, the Visa cards, just to say, we have our cards, we have our money here. And they showed some 400 pounds actually it was 2,000 pounds in cash. They showed them, they said, we have money, something like that. I'm just giving you different people experiences. And also I've heard of stories where some people come to the airport and they give some crazy information. Like I remember I had a story of a lady who came to the airport and she was supposed to come visit, and the moment she got to the airport she started telling the officer, oh, I am the officer said, how long are you here for? The lady said, I'm supposed to be here for 2 weeks, but if I find a job I can stay for longer. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, guys? This lady was like, oh, if I find a job I can stay for 6 months. Huh? Right there she got deported, because you're telling me you're coming to stay, and you start talking about if you find a job you'll stay. And then also I've heard of stories where some people carry a lot of documents, and their purpose of visit is maybe visit, and they are caught with a lot of documents that proves that this person has intentions of staying, yeah, in the country. So that was a reason for that person to get deported as well. And also another person that I heard was deported, and this is not to scare you, by the way, we are just chatting, we are just having a conversation. Another person that I heard was deported is information found on their phone. I don't know what led to this person. I think this person was pulled on the side, and then the officers requested for their phone, and they saw some chats, conversation on the phone, that this person was talking to somebody about finding the job. And this person purpose of visit was purpose of traveling here was visit. So they caught her with information about this person, conversations, coming here to look for a job, blah blah blah. They were like, okay, so this is what you're planning to do. That person got deported. So I believe it's very important for you to erase or delete your conversations. I don't know. Yeah, because, just to be on the safe side. Because you know what, guys? It's very good to stick to the information you give at the embassy. Don't start telling lies. Don't start beating around the bush. Don't start coming up with stories, So anyway, those are experiences, but majority of the people, they go through the airports well, fine, with no problems. As long as you're confident and you know where you're going, you are able to answer the questions as how the officer asked you. You shouldn't have any problem, honestly. And everybody, as I said, everybody has their own experience. So my experience is not gonna be your experience or somebody else's experience. So you're fine. Don't panic. So anyway, they can ask you, do you know the address where you're going? It's very important to know the city where you're going, the place where you're going, and also to have the address. Also, it's good to have the phone number, just in case they feel like, oh, let's call this person. Is this who is hosting you? Okay, do you have their phone number? I've heard of cases officers call their host, like this, we have this person at the airport, and are you the host? Have the phone number with you, have the address with you. You can have a small book. That's what I always advise people. And this is not just for visa or student visa, or this is for any type of visa. When you come here, even when you're coming with a green card, they will still ask you a question, or some questions. So it's very good to be prepared. Have a book with you, a little small booklet where you can write, you have that information, the address, the name of the town, just some small stuff. So because in case you forget, you can refer to your book, and they won't ask you, they won't have a problem. You can open your book and say, officer, I'm tired, I've had a long flight, and just read and tell them where you're going. At least they will see, oh, this person is very organized, this person know what they are doing, this person. So if you're coming here to study, obviously, the name of your school, all those things. They'll ask you, what you're coming to study, the length of those questions. Everybody has their own experience. Just be very, very prepared, because you don't know what will pop out of that officer's mouth. You don't know. So that is all I had to share with you guys, because I've had people ask me and they're like, Betty, what do they ask at the airport? For me, I don't think they ask everybody the same questions. They just, whatever pops out of their mouth, depending on whatever questions they have, they can ask you. And remember, if you go there to tell them stories, those stories can dig up more. And yes, things can go crazy at the airport. So it's always good. It's always very good to stick to what you say and don't talk too much. That is what I can advise you. They can ask you if you have family here, so you can tell them, do you have family in the US? You can tell them, yeah, depending on what you say at the airport. They want to know, because always make sure you maintain the fact that you're not intending to stay longer than your visa. If you're just on a visa, yeah, make sure. And they can check the return ticket, as I mentioned earlier. So make sure your ticket matches the dates you're giving this person. Okay, because if the return ticket dates, they are not matching, that can be a problem too. So yeah, that is all they ask at the airport. We can interact at the comment section. We can talk more about some of the things they ask at the airport, because this is not in any particular order. And guys, I'm so happy because some people, they help me to answer some of the questions, and I really appreciate. If anybody on the comment section ask a question and I haven't seen their question, or you come across the question and you have an answer, you can help me answer. It's very good, and I appreciate that, because it's good to reply to somebody. When you see somebody post a question on the comment section and the answer, it's always good to be to reply to them in a polite manner. If somebody posts a comment and you feel like they are not very polite, let me not go further. Let me just say, just be polite nicely and answer them for me. I really appreciate. And the reason I'm saying that, because I've seen a lot of people, they reply to these comments and they answer them, and I really feel like, oh, these people, they're taking their time to reply to other people comments. I really appreciate. It makes me feel like we are one big family. It really makes me feel we're interacting good. We are, without judging each other. I am so grateful to you guys. So, oh, by the way, I've had people compliment me with this because of this wig. Yeah, this wig. Some people are like, Betty, did you is this the wig you got from Kenya? When I was unpacking my gifts from Kenya. No, this is not the wig I got from Kenya. No, this one, I have that video. I'm gonna upload it to show you guys where I bought this wig. And yeah, I bought it in a store here in Arizona. And yeah, at another store. It's cute. I just need to know how to comb it. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm so free with you, and now I'm telling you about I'm wearing a wig. Can you imagine? Of course, you can tell this is not my hair, but I like it. I think I look good in this wig. What do you think, guys? Tell me about what you think about this wig. Yeah. So, also another thing I can tell you is, guys, if you get your visa to travel, whatever kind of visa, and you're first time flyer, always feel free to talk to somebody who has traveled before. Ask them how is their experience at the airport. Just be positive. Just be positive, because you've come a long way. God has given you a visa, so you're fine, but it's good to have a chat and have a conversation with somebody who has flied before. And this is not just the US, by the way, all parts of the world, the whole world. If you're traveling to a new country, you will go through an airport. Even if you're going to somewhere in Africa, going through an airport, they'll ask you questions. Even if you're going through like, I remember in Kenya, I used to go to Uganda a lot. So I used to go in those to get on those buses. the buses to Kampala coaches and stuff, and you get to Busia, they'll ask you some questions at the immigration, like they'll ask you, because when you're traveling to a different country, you are going through an immigration and they'll ask you questions. Yeah. And every time people hear questions, they start getting nervous, like, questions? What do you mean questions? And when you tell somebody, oh, you go through the airport and they'll ask, and these people start panicking, like, questions, how are these questions? No, not to worry, not to worry. As long as you are honest, you're real, you are confident, and you know where you're going, you got your visa, you will go through that airport, and you will testify the goodness of the Lord, because nothing will go wrong. As I told you guys, the only problem with these countries is you lie or start digging up stories that are not even necessary. That's what they don't want to hear. So thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for watching this video. As I said, please, always when I share here, guys, whenever I talk to you, dig up more information, look up more, check Google. Not just Google, talk to somebody else, because my experience, even anything about immigration, my experience is not going to be your experience, or it's not going to be the other person's experience. We all have different experiences. Some people find it go through it easy. Some people find a hard time, get a hard time. Yeah. Take care, guys. God bless you. I love you, and make sure you come back, watch the next video. Please give this video a thumbs up, like, share, click on the notification bell, subscribe, and take care of yourselves. I love you. Bye.